Hey, Southern Nevada Stonewall and guests. Welcome to one of my first online web updates, so I'm really excited to be able to do this for you. My name is Jeremy Davis, and I'm the Affiliate Services Coordinator for National Stonewall Democrats. What that means is that I help provide service and support that National Stonewall does for our affiliates and Stonewall clubs around the country. Derek asked me to give you all a quick update about what we've been doing with National and what we're planning on doing here in the next year or so. So let me just jump right in. Oh, first let me say I'm sorry I can't be there tonight in person. I was originally going to join via Skype, but I have some friends in from out of the country that are staying at the house, and with the time difference and everything else, there was just no way to make it work out. So I apologize. The first thing that I wanted to talk about briefly was the election and kind of what we did around that. For those of you who don't know, we had a program this year called Elect Equality, which we actually had 11 field staff in the field working in different campaigns that were all for pro-equality Democrats. In fact, we had somebody in Nevada, Genevieve Flores, who worked for the Dina Titus campaign. So some of you might have actually met Genevieve. She's fantastic. A lot of her work revolved around working in the Latino community for Dina and doing translations into Spanish and stuff like that. And she was absolutely wonderful. Some of you may have also met Lindsay Pesconis, our communications director. She actually came out and worked on the Titus campaign for a while too. But we actually had people all across the country, like I said, in 11 different campaigns. We had a staffer. Actually, because of that that program, we were able to elect a new out gay man to the U.S. House of Representatives, David Cicilline in Rhode Island. He's formerly the mayor of Providence, and he will be joining the 112th Congress when it gets seated in January. So we're really, really excited about that. We're actually still waiting for one of our elect equality candidates' election to be decided. That's Tim Bishop in New York 1. His election went down to a recount. He is currently up by 200, I think it was 59 votes, the most recent count. So they are, diligently getting those counted, and he's been working a recount battle since the election. The Elect Equality program was fantastic. Next year, we hope to, or the next cycle, 2012, we actually hope to expand that a little further and not only have a national program, but we're going to do a pilot program, we hope, in several of the states to work on electoral work in the states, and we just can't wait to get that done. As you know, the election was a little iffy. Nevada, great job on sending Harry Reid back to be the majority leader in the Senate. We are really excited about that. We hope that his leadership will lead to the repeal at least of Don't Ask, Don't Tell this year, which I'll get to in a moment of an update on Don't Ask, Don't Tell. But around the country, Democrats were hit and miss. California did really well. They elected, I think, Democrats across the board when it was all said and done. And several other states did really well, but for the most part, we had a pretty tough election. And we're looking at a pretty ugly congressional makeup in 2011. And the likelihood that a lot of LGBT issues won't be under consideration. But we'll see what we can get done. And we'll know more once, all of the elections shake out, because there are still a few recounts, like I was talking about Tim Bishop. So that's kind of a wrap-up of the election and some of the stuff that, we worked on up until then. Most recently, we've been really, really working hard on Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal. We had an update on our Leadership Council call the other night from SLDN, Service Members Legal Defense Network, and they gave us some fantastic information on kind of the ins and outs of what's going on. A lot of folks have probably, seen the recent hearings in the Senate over Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal and know about the report that shows that repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell would not be a problem for our military. They can handle it just fine, whether or not it's a time of war or whatever. That doesn't seem to have any bearing on how well they could pull off repeal. The big issue is that Republicans are obstructing completely the business of the Senate and dragging their feet. We've had a few Republicans who have come on board, and they've said that they'll stick by repeal, or they'll vote for repeal, and the but is always if the Republicans get their way with their agenda. So and that's 100% of their agenda. They weren't at all happy with tax cuts for 98% of Americans. It has to be tax cuts for 100% of Americans, including the super rich and the wealthy who don't need it. And if they don't get that, then they're going to hold up all the business of the Senate, and nothing will get done in this lame duck session. So negotiations are still ongoing, and we hope that Harry Reid and the other leaders in the Senate will pull out a win there. Again, Southern Nevada and the folks there in Nevada, sorry, I mispronounced, they did a wonderful job getting Senator Ensign on record saying he would vote for repeal. In some other states where we've been working, Arkansas, we recently worked with them over Lincoln and Pryor, both of which are Democrats who voted against Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal the first time it came up this year. They are still on the fence, although Pryor has come out now and said that he thinks homosexuality is a sin, but at the same time, he also said that, things are changing and I don't want to be judgmental. So we worked with the affiliate in Arkansas to put out some press statements and so forth that really kind of hammered home the message for Mark Pryor that, saying homosexuality is a sin on the record is being judgmental. But more importantly, that he really needed to still go ahead and vote for repeal because, he said it best when he said, the attitudes in America are changing and repeal will eventually happen. It needs to happen now. Another group of folks we've been working with were up in Massachusetts. You may have heard Scott Brown came out in support of repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell as well. Again, he, marching in lockstep with the Republicans, he said that he would only do it under certain circumstances. We all know those circumstances happen to be that the Republicans give their, rich friends a tax cut. And so, we've worked with Massachusetts to give them some press and work with them on a press statement that we, pushed out nationwide as well. Some of the other issues that are going on, it looks like, there may be some movement on the DREAM Act. My understanding is it's been stripped out of the defense bill and it's going to be voted on perhaps as a standalone bill. There may be a few other things that go through, but for the most part, tax cuts and the funding of the federal government are going to take up most of the steam in this lame duck session is the way that things are looking now, especially with the schedule that Harry Reid published for the rest of this week in the Senate's business. Coming up next year, and this is something that's going to be important for all of our affiliates, is next year is an affiliate building year. We don't have a major election. There are a few local elections here and there, but on a national scale, we don't have any elections coming up. So one of the things that we like to do during those years is work on, growing our affiliates and growing the number of members that our affiliates have, and growing the power and prestige of our affiliates around the country. We do that in a number of ways. One of the things that we would like to do, is work with different affiliates that are at different levels to help them learn how to reach out and get new members, bring new members on board, how to do messaging and strategy, and even starting new affiliates in places where we don't have them. Another thing that we do is our Pride in the Party program, which works on getting more representation in the state and local Democratic parties for LGBT people. Whether that's getting people on the state central committees, whether that's getting people elected to office, or teaching them how to run for office, whatever it takes, depending upon the state. Because we have some states where there's only, if at all, one person on the state central committee that's out LGBT or T, and that's just unfortunate. I come from Indiana, where that's actually the case. We have one out LGBT person on the state central committee of the Democratic Party, but then you have a place like Louisiana where there are something like 12 or 15 people who are out that are in the party structure. So it's vastly different depending upon where you look. Well, that's about all the updates that I have for everyone tonight. I hope you got some quality information or learned something new today. If you ever have any questions or want to, contact me for any reason, you can always call the national office at 202-625-1382, or you can email me at jdavis@stonewalldemocrats.org. Thanks a lot. We're very happy to have our affiliates in Nevada, and we're looking forward to working with y'all next year. Take care. Thanks.